8 secret soil ingredients that revive dead dirt instantly. Gardeners don't talk about number 3. If you've ever knelt in your garden, scooped up a handful of lifeless, dusty soil, and felt that sinking, how am I supposed to grow anything in this moment? Trust me, you're not alone. Every gardener, beginner or seasoned, eventually faces a patch of soil that feels hopeless. But here's the truth I've learned after years of experimenting, failing, reading, testing, and tweaking. Dead soil isn't dead, it's simply waiting for the right spark. Today I'm sharing 8 secret ingredients that have completely transformed my worst garden beds into thriving microbe-rich ecosystems. Fast. These aren't gimmicks. These are real, actionable, soil-reviving tools that work whether you're gardening on a balcony, homestead, backyard, or urban plot. Let's dig in. 1. Aged compost, the foundation of all soil revival. Whenever a garden bed feels exhausted, my first move, without exception, is to reach for aged compost. Not the fresh, steaming pile that still smells like kitchen scraps. I mean the dark, earthy, crumbly material that smells like a forest floor. Aged compost adds organic matter, wakes up the soil microbiome, improves structure, and gives beneficial fungi a place to colonize. Every dead soil problem, from compaction to nutrient deficiency, improves with compost. I like to mix 2 to 4 inches into the top layer of soil and, save a bit for a mulch layer on top. Within weeks, earthworms return, moisture improves, and plants anchor themselves with confidence. Compost isn't just an ingredient, it's the heartbeat. I'll never forget the first time I added charged biochar to a struggling garden patch. Within about a month, the bed held moisture longer, stayed airy, and the plants stayed green even during a dry spell. Biochar works because, well, it's packed with tiny pores that act like condos for microbes. But, and this is key, you must charge it first so it doesn't pull nutrients away from your plants. I usually soak biochar in compost tea, worm leachate, or fermented plant juice before mixing it into the soil. Once activated, biochar increases microbial life dramatically, especially in soils that have been chemically damaged or compacted for years. If compost is the heartbeat, worm castings are the adrenaline shot. A small handful goes a long way because castings deliver living biology straight into the root zone. I often add a cup of castings into each planting hole or sprinkle it in the topsoil before watering. What makes castings secret is their gentle potency. They never burn plants, never disrupt soil balance, and always improve structure. They help the soil aggregate naturally, making it fluffier, more breathable, and better at holding moisture. Fermented plant juice, or FPJ, is really the microbial kickstart your soil might need. The first time I learned about FPJ from Korean natural farming, I was honestly a bit skeptical, but after seeing how quickly it revived a dead squash bed, I was totally hooked. FPJ is made by fermenting fast-growing leafy plants like comfrey, sweet potato vine, or even weeds. What makes FPJ powerful is that it introduces living enzymes, beneficial microbes, and plant growth hormones back into soil that's been biologically starved. I dilute it heavily, usually 1 tablespoon per liter of water, and drench the soil weekly for a month. I started with a single bed, and now it's a ritual across my entire garden. It's especially helpful for soil that's been sunbaked or chemically damaged. Mulch. It's really the shield that brings soil back to life. Dead soil almost always has something in common. It's been exposed. Sun, wind, and rain strip soil of moisture and microbial life. This is where mulch becomes the hero that most gardeners underestimate. I usually use shredded leaves, straw, or dried grass clippings. Within days, the soil underneath becomes cooler, darker, and slightly damp. Even during hot weather, mulch creates a perfect home for earthworms to return and for fungi to rebuild their networks. One of my secret tricks is to water the soil first with compost tea or FPJ, then cover it with mulch. The biology explodes underneath like magic. Mushroom compost or mycorrhizal fungi. These are the underground network builders. If you've ever pulled up a plant and found white threads in the soil, that's mycorrhizal fungi, and it's one of the most powerful indicators of living soil. These fungi connect plant roots to an underground network that delivers nutrients, improves moisture uptake, and even helps plants communicate. When reviving dead soil, I use two methods. Mushroom compost is great for adding fungal residue and organic matter, especially in neglected beds. Mycorrhizal inoculant, a sprinkle in the planting holes or mixed into the soil, gives plants instant fungal partners. Once this network starts to rebuild, the soil transforms from sterile to alive. The change is visible in how plants root deeply and resist stress better. Dead soil often lacks something gardeners rarely think about: minerals. Plants need more than just nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. They rely on trace minerals like silica, copper, magnesium, and iron. If you give soil a season to rest and heal, cover crops are, hands down, one of the most transformative tools. I've used oats, clover, cowpeas, buckwheat, and mustard greens depending on the season and the soil's needs. Cover crops revive dead soil by breaking compaction, fixing nitrogen-feeding microbes with fresh root exudates, adding organic matter when chopped and dropped, and protecting the soil from erosion and sun damage. Even if you don't have months to spare, fast growers like buckwheat or mustard greens can revive soil in as little as 30 to 40 days. I've seen cover-cropped beds grow vegetables twice as vigorously the following season. Bringing it all together, reviving dead soil isn't about complicated formulas or expensive products. It's about understanding what soil truly is: a living ecosystem. When you feed it, protect it, and seed it with biological life, it springs back with energy you'll see in every leaf, stem, and harvest. Whether you're a beginner just starting your first raised bed or an experienced gardener troubleshooting a stubborn plot, these 8 ingredients are the most reliable tools I've ever used. They've saved me years of frustration, and I'm confident they'll transform your soil too, no matter how dead it seems today. SoilSage Chronicles.